So now that I've got my view controllers set up, I'm going to set up my data structure. So I'm going to go to, again, File, New, File. This time we're not going to do a Cocoa Touch class because it's not a view controller. We're going to create a Swift file. I'm going to name this waterdata.swift, add it to my project. So this now appears as a blank project. So the first thing we're going to do is create a class. This is going to be a water record. Inside this class we're going to have the properties of a date, which will be a string, and we're going to have the volume of water, which will be a double. Okay, we need to initialize this class. So every time we create a new water record, we need to make sure that we input the date and also the volume, and we use those same types. Volume equals volume. Okay, so this is initialized and ready to start being used. Okay, from there, I'm going to create some dummy data just so that when we first load up our, oops, spelled volume wrong there. Create some dummy data just so that when we are loading up our app, it will display the previous things. Obviously, we could extend this to use core data, but this is just a demo for now for a prototype. So we're going to create a blank list, which is going to be a list of our water records type that we just created. Okay, so this is a blank one here, but I'm going to put some dummy data into here. Okay, so let's give myself some space. Okay, in here I'm going to create a new water record. And when I create a water record, because we set that initialize up, we need to give it a date, and my date format will be 01/11/2020. Okay, and my volume will be a double, so let's put 09. Okay, and then we're going to do a comma because this is a list. So then we can populate that with some more data. So for example, on the 2nd, on the 3rd, on the 4th, on the 5th, and you can add more data to this as well just to make it a little bit more randomized. But I will quickly run through and create that. Okay, so now we have our water record stored in a list, and we have these new entries which will be our dummy data, just so when it loads up it displays something nicely. Okay, so far we have our data structure, we have our list of records, and the other thing we're going to have is a way to sort this. So this is could be an unordered list. We could sort it based on the volume, or we could sort it based on the dates. In order to do this, I'm going to use a well-known algorithm called a bubble sort algorithm. Okay, so this is well known, so if you're not familiar with it, you can look it up. You'll be able to find it expressed in lots of different languages. But basically all it does is it goes through a list of entries. I've got my entries.count, and it's going to find the highest number, and it's going to sort those. So I'm just going to concentrate for a second while I try and write this out. Entries. So this is where I'm sorting it by the dates. Obviously, if you didn't want to sort it by the date, you want to sort it by the volume. This is where you would change it. And again here, so sorting the two positions within that. We create a temporary list, which is also going to be full of water records. I'm going to set that to the item. Set that to the next item as we go through. And finally, we're going to reset our list to whatever was stored in the temporary list. Okay, the last thing we're going to do, because it's not in descending order, is to reverse our list. Okay, so we've got a nice method that does it for us. This is our bubble sort. In the next, I'm going to show you how we're going to use this and also display our data.